But Mihir Vora is joining in as a Chief Investment Officer at Trust Mutual Fund. Mihir, hi, good morning and thanks for joining in on the show. You know, this is a market that's very interesting, right? I mean, on one hand, we are making new highs, but on the other hand, there are also a lot of concerns that this market has. What happens post-elections? There are a lot of geopolitical concerns. Crude has been moving higher, etc., etc. So how do you deal with all of this in a market that's hitting new highs every day? Continue to stay invested?
Good morning, Sonia. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Yes, because there is ample scope for stock picking. We are taking the view that the Indian economy will not be that correlated to the global economy because, initially, as we know, we didn't do that kind of a stimulus during COVID times. And so the withdrawal of stimulus is also not going to be that sharp for us. So I think relatively, India is in a good spot. We are hoping that the themes that we talked about, which is the domestic economy, including consumption, physical asset creation, will continue to do well over the next few years. And as we talk about the sub themes, I think there is enough excitement in the stock picking space.
Mir, hi, morning, and let me at the outside congratulate you. 500 crores in assets and tens of thousands of investors. So congratulations to you and the trust team. Hope to see a few zeros, added to that number as
Certainly,
we go along.
Thank you so much.
Mir, talk to us a little bit about, you saw the action on BSE. I know you can't talk about specific stocks, right? But this regulatory fee action, does it raise some amount of regulatory risk for these capital market plays? And a lot of this, of course, is on the option side, where the regulator has expressed discomfort earlier on as well. So you don't know how exactly, or rather where exactly the action comes from, or do you think this is okay and interest and momentum is strong enough that even if exchanges have to increase prices, it's a strong market and earnings trajectory will remain pretty good?
I don't think there is any extra regulatory action which has happened. It's more of a question of interpretation or accounting treatment. So I don't think this warrants any, concern as far as regulatory scrutiny or overbearance is concerned. I think it was more of a company-specific issue rather than a general issue, I say.
Hi, Mir, and congratulations from my end as well to you as well as your team. I think 16,000 investors, 500 crores mobilized. Best wishes to you and team. Well, the big event that we're looking forward to on the domestic front is elections. And some part of the street is in that vicinity of expectations of, say, 350, 330 odd. What if the current ruling NDA, they get, majority, a comfortable majority, but they don't get those numbers that are talked about, the 350 odd? Will it be a cause for worry, or will you be happy? A majority is good enough, 300 odd, that's the ballpark number. Thumbs up and life continues.
I think the market is factoring in a majority for sure. So that means a continuity of the policies and the regime. Now, whether it's a super majority or a minor majority, I think that may create some volatility in the immediate few days after the results. But as long as the markets see policy continuity, I think we should be okay. Nothing much to read there, frankly.
How did you read the IT numbers? Because, it's a mixed bag, right? On one hand, Tech Mahindra did quite well. On the other hand, players like HCL Tech not looking good in terms of guidance. Infosys was not too great either. So what do investors do now in this big tech space?
See, IT, the large companies are facing headwinds for sure. That's been our call for quite some time. We do believe that the bunched up spending that happened post-COVID because of a lot of factors, people working from home, lots more online activity, lots more trading activities, etc. I think that extra spending in the 2 years after COVID, I think we are past that. Of course, there is some bump up and some more action in the AI space, but I don't think Indian companies are participating in that in a big way. So I think IT, the large companies are most likely back to their pre-COVID growth rates, which was more like single-digit growth rates, and that's where we are going to. There are few mid-cap companies which are following specific business models, specific verticals, which can grow faster than the rest of the IT pack. So we should go for stock selective measures rather than a broad call on IT. In general, I think the large IT companies are likely to grow slower than the rest of the market, which is more domestic linked.
You know, when we spoke around the time of the launch of the fund, you guys were talking about that, finding big gorilla ideas, right? So without naming these gorillas, if you can talk to us about how that composition, I mean, you're already investing money, you're putting that to work. Where is it going? Which are the big ideas, themes rather, that you're bidding on in the fund?
Sure. I think at the time of the NFO, it looked like we'll probably be a little more mid and small cap bias compared to the benchmark. It's going, I think, in that direction, it looks like, for sure. And the themes, we will continue with the three themes that we talked about, basically, which is, premium consumption and financialization of savings. So in premium consumption, we have a lot of services and products, of course, and consumer items, especially this high-end consumer discretionary spending, both in services and goods. Then financialization also includes, a lot of capital market linked segments, wealth management, broking, asset management, insurance, a lot of the segments which cater to large scale savings. Second is physical asset creation, which includes infrastructure, real estate, as well as manufacturing themes. And the third is technological disruption, with all these new business models coming in, disruptive business models coming in. So I think we will stick to those themes that we identified, and the portfolio is likely to, probably be a little more biased toward mid and small.
Okay, all right. We leave it at that, Mihir. Thanks a lot for joining in. You were